Well, former Presidents Thabo Mbeki and Jacob Zuma will this morning be presenting their oral arguments, explaining why they believe Justice Sisi Khampepe should not chair an inquiry into delays in TRC investigations. In separate recusal applications, the former heads of state argue that Khampepe is biased and will not be able to adjudicate the matter fairly. They also accuse the judge of misconduct. It's a serious development, and our Qaanitah is watching every detail unfold. Qaanitah, good morning. It's also interesting that these two former heads of state are merging, although separately, in their submissions on an issue where historically, just in their political careers, they've been divided.
Absolutely, but it's an important one as the victims of apartheid crimes wait for some justice. And so a delay in this particular inquiry does have real-life consequences. But the former presidents, both Thabo Mbeki and Jacob Zuma, say that this recusal application is not intended to delay this commission of inquiry. They say that there is serious grounds for bias. Thabo Mbeki's application was supported by former members of his cabinet, Ronnie Casserols, Charles Nkula, etc. And so they are arguing that Khampepe was involved in the NPA in relation to prosecution of TRC crimes, and that has relationships with some of the people who would be called to this commission. Jacob Zuma, in his papers, Iman, takes it a bit further, saying that there's some improper misconduct in Sisi Khampepe in her relationship, or in the way that she interacted with evidence leader advocate Ishmael Semenya. Ishmael Semenya was the one who responded to both those applications, saying that Mbeki and Zuma have no leg to stand on. He made the claim that this would delay this proceedings. Now, let's take us back to where does this inquiry come from. There is a group called the Qaanitah group. It's named after Lucanio Qaanitah, who is the son of Fort Qaanitah. They went to court to challenge President Cyril Ramaphosa and say that he has to force the prosecution of apartheid-era crimes. You'd recall that you had the Cradock Four. They were killed mercilessly by the apartheid. And so in a settlement agreement between this Qaanitah group and President Cyril Ramaphosa, it was agreed that there would be this commission of inquiry to kind of go back and track why were the recommendations by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission not implemented so far as the prosecution of these apartheid-era crimes. And so it would be, not the actual prosecution, but why were people not prosecuted? So President Cyril Ramaphosa, in his power, appointed Sisi Khampepe to say, lead this probe, dig as to what could have been the cause of these delays, come up with recommendations, and the president will then have to act on those recommendations. Now, there was a time frame implemented, but that time frame has already lapsed. The president had to come out and say, well, this inquiry now has up until June 2026 to complete its work. But there's been delays. Former President Zuma first objected to Ishmael Semenya being the evidence leader. That was dismissed. They then brought this application to seek the recusal of Sisi Khampepe, which is now joined by Thabo Mbeki. So they're going to present their arguments here. The Qaanitah group have said that there's no basis for it, that it will lead to unnecessary delays, and so it will be interesting to hear how things develop today.
Qaanitah, and we will be bringing those developments live to our viewers where possible. Thank you for that update.